Hey guys, welcome to LawnCareMadeEasy.com. I'm Zach Stroud. Today we're going to talk about how to pick the right lawn for your new renovation and what lawn would work best for your area. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the video. Just wanted to jump in here and say I hope you subscribe to my channel because we're giving away these free tools this month. So don't forget to subscribe. Now back to the video.
Okay guys, so welcome back. So picking the right lawn is really going to help you grow the best grass for your area, okay? Picking the wrong lawn, you're going to be struggling year after year, trying to make sure that it's the healthiest it can be, and you're going to put a lot of money and time into something that you may not enjoy over the years to come, okay? So I'm going to go over some of the grass types, the most common grass types that most people have, and what areas are best for them, okay? And I think that after this video, you'll have a good idea of what type of grass you'll need to grow in your area, because it has to do a lot with your soil type, your temperatures, everything like that comes into play with a lot of that. So the first ones I want to go over are the warm season grasses. So you have warm season grasses and you have cool season grasses, okay? So a lot of people who live more in the South will probably have are going to grow more of your lawn season grasses. Now, I know we have a transition area right there in the middle of the country, and that's going to allow some people to grow either one, okay? Because they kind of have both types of temperature ranges there that allows them to grow both types of grasses. So let's go over warm season grasses first, okay? So your warm season grasses, I'm going to use my whiteboard today. So your warm season. Okay, so these are lawns that this is going to be in the hot regions of the country, okay? If you live in the South, this is going to be the types of grasses that are going to grow the best for you, okay? So number one, and it's a very popular grass in the South, and it's called Bermuda. And I know we've probably all heard of Bermuda, okay? Bermuda lawns. A lot of these lawns are used on golf courses. A lot of sport arenas will have these, your baseball fields, your football fields. And the reason being is they take a lot of damage, okay? You can walk all over this type of grass, the Bermuda, and it's going to repair pretty quick, okay? So it loves heat. You'll see this grass, especially during the winter, you're going to see it go into dormancy really, really quick, because once those temperatures start to drop in the fall, that's when you're going to start seeing this one go into dormancy, and it's going to be really quick. Now, that's one of the great things about this is the way it repairs itself so quickly. Also, it lives in a lot of these clay soils that we have in the South, especially where I live in South Carolina. We have a lot of clay soils here. So it's gonna really adapt to that soil, and it's gonna take off. Now, there's different types or different varieties of this Bermuda. So if you have just the plain Bermuda, a common Bermuda that you have in your lawn, it's not gonna be very, very good with shade, okay? So as it inches towards maybe some trees that you have maybe some oaks that are pretty broad and wide, and they cast a large amount of shade, it's going to inch right to that shaded area. You'll see where the canopy is, and it's going to start to kind of die off there, okay? It's not going to really go past that. Now, they have come out with some different varieties that can take the shade around those types of large trees, okay? But you're going to see that you need at least 6 hours of sun for Bermuda, okay? Full sun, 6 hours of full sun for Bermuda. And like I said, just do some research if this is the type of lawn that you're wanting to grow, because they have come out with some varieties that I've seen here recently in the last couple of years where they do take a little bit more shade. In some areas, it'll be more of a dappled shade. It won't be a full shade. So you may want to, investigate that and look at some of the sod companies around you and what they sell. Okay. So Bermuda is one of the most popular, and it's a really good grass. During the summer, you're probably going to want to cut it to about 1 inch. Keep it around 1 inch. It grows best at that, and you're going to see it just pop back each week. And this is going to be a grass that you won't be able to cut every Saturday. Okay. You may have to cut, especially during the springtime. You're going to have to cut this probably twice a week, and sometimes maybe 3, because once it starts heating up, probably more, maybe May, when it starts to get hot, you're going to be cutting this probably 2 to 3 times a week just to keep it at a manageable state. Okay, once it gets high, that stuff is so thick that it's hard to get it right back down to that 1 inch. Okay, so that Bermuda, you can cut down to 1 inch and keep it there, and it looks beautiful. Keeping it watered probably, 1 inch a week is good. Especially during the summertime, you want to make sure you get about 1 inch a week on there of irrigation, some type of water, fertilization. You can probably fertilize this. I don't fertilize any lawn more than once or twice a month, especially anything that's time released. You don't want to put so much on. I don't put a lot on my lawns. I kind of just give them a little bit what they need at first to get them into that growing season, and then I kind of lay back. Now, if you have irrigation, you may be able to do that more frequently, and that's just something that you can investigate. If that's something you want to do, then go ahead and do that. Once a month, twice a month, or whatever. But as for me, I usually just fertilize mine at least once a month, and so far it's done really good. So Bermuda is a great lawn to have. You have to understand that it's not a low maintenance grass. It's a very high maintenance lawn. Okay, so just make sure that you understand that before you go into choosing that type of lawn. So the next one we're going to talk about is zoysia. I really like zoysia. I think it's a beautiful grass. To me, they have so many different varieties on this. It almost looks like a fescue that you can grow in the hotter climates, the warmer climates here in South Carolina. I mean, they have different varieties as well. There's a wide blade that I use called Palisades, and I think it's a beautiful lawn. I mean, it can grow in all these soils around here. It's very adaptable, easy to maintain. Now with this one, you're not going to cut it at 1 inch. You're going to keep it about 2.5 to 3. I've seen people keep it at 4, and it just gets as green as it can get. So, and it really will, if you keep it around 3 inches, it'll start choking out the weeds and everything. So it's a really nice grass. It's easy to maintain. It really doesn't grow really, really high. If you were to say you go on vacation for a week or so, you're not going to come back to a mess, and it's easy to get it back to manageable state. Okay, so it's very heat tolerable, drought tolerable, same as Bermuda. That's very tolerable as well to the heat and drought. You're not going to need a lot of water on this. Probably no more than about an inch a week of irrigation. It doesn't need a lot of any type of fertilizer. If you want to fertilize it, you can. I wouldn't recommend more than once a month up until July. So it's a really low maintenance lawn. It does creep in, just like I forgot to mention that with Bermuda. They will creep into your landscaping beds, and they will take those over. So you may need to either spray them with some Roundup as it starts to creep in to kind of keep that manageable, or you might have to just pull it up with your hand, because it will just creep into your landscaping beds, and it will make a mess, and it'll make it part of the lawn pretty fast. So just be aware of that. Zoysia, now it can take a little bit more shade. It can take up to almost a deeper dapple shade. It can take, not full shade. It needs at least 4 hours of full sunlight. Okay. Now, if it's in full and it starts to creep into some dappled shade, it may just stay there and it'll be okay. But it may be a little thin, but it'll still be there. It's not going to be as thick and as pretty, so it'll probably thin out, and you may get some weeds in there with it because it's not going to be nice and thick. But it does take a little bit of shade. But if you have it in a 6 hour window of full sunlight, that's when you're going to really see that really peps up and it'll grow. And this is just a really nice lawn that'll last forever. I've done some work for guys and their lawn has been there probably 20 years and it looks great, and it's zoysia. So, zoysia, another great grass that I think you would really enjoy. And if you want a kind of a low maintenance lawn, zoysia is the one to go with. Our third one is going to be centipede. And remember, these are all warm season lawns. So this is centipede. This is a grass that very, very low maintenance, okay? You're not going to have to do a lot with this grass. It doesn't even grow tall if you just leave it alone. It's not going to grit. From what I've seen, I've had some centipede in my lawn before, and it really does. We've gone to the beach and we come back, and I can cut it and it's right back to where it was. So it's not going to get more than probably about maybe 4 or 5 inches tall. And it's what they call a lazy man's grass because it does grow slow. Okay, so it's a slow growing grass. It is nice during the springtime when it first comes up, emerging from dormancy. It's really nice looking. It's really green. But as we head into the hotter parts of summer, then you're going to see that green turn more of a dingy green. Okay, so it's going to come back from that strong light green, and it's going to kind of tone down a little bit, and it's not going to look as pretty during the summer. So if you have some irrigation on this lawn, I think you would be very happy with that. Like I said, it's a very, very low maintenance lawn. It's not for somebody who wants to get out and cut all the time, but it's a nice lawn. It's going to get thick. And I think, if you have some irrigation on it, it doesn't even really need a lot of fertilizer. So you can fertilize it once a month during the growing season. And after that, if you just want to keep it watered, just like the other warm season lawns, about an inch a week, that's pretty much all centipede needs. It's a very low maintenance lawn, like I've said before. And I think if you're looking for something like that, that would be your best bet. So the last one I want to talk about in the warm season category is St. Augustine. Too long of a word. So St. Augustine is a very high maintenance lawn. Okay, so it's not going to take foot traffic over and over a lot. So that type of damage is really going to start thinning it out. It needs a lot more water because it does drain through easily because it's being grown in a sandy soil. It's susceptible to cinch bugs, which are pests, brown patch. So it's not one of those lawns that you're going to be able to sit back like the centipede and just relax and watch it grow, because you're going to have to work with this lawn. You're going to have to make sure all your maintenance is done with, as far as like keeping the pests down, watching out for the brown patch or any other diseases, and making sure that it's getting enough water and enough attention during the weeks that that it doesn't get away from you and things start going awry for you. So that's the best lawn for those in the coastal areas. Anywhere else, you're probably going to run into more problems. It's probably not even going to grow if you have more clay soils or any other thick soils like that. So because the roots just won't dig in and take hold. Now that's in most applications. I know I've seen people, even where I live here in the upstate of South Carolina, that have grown it in small patches and it's done well, but it's not a full yard. Their whole lawn is not that. So, it's not very, very tolerant to any types of drought, any types of clay soils or anything like that. So if you pick St. Augustine, just be aware of that. Okay. So those are your warm season grasses. Okay. Those are the most common. And remember, for the most part, what I mentioned about each one of these is pretty much the characteristics of them. Okay. St. Augustine, let me go back to that one for 1 second. It's not going to take any shade. Okay. So if you're going to put it around a tree or anything like that, it's not even going to touch it. Okay. So it's very low tolerant to any type of shade. Just wanted to mention that before I went on. So the next two we're going to talk about, and there are other cool season lawns, but these are the most common that I've worked with and that I know people grow around in most of these northern areas.